Hello and welcome to my tarot corner. It's been a rough 24 hours. It's getting tougher and tougher. I actually saw a video today that said that Harry's book is one of the fastest selling book for the first 24 hours, that it sold 400,000 copies for the first 24 hours, which is quite a beautiful, a nice amount of books. Still not getting close to the amount that Penguin Random House need to sell in order to break even with the amount of money that they paid Harry, and to start having any kind of profit from which Harry will start giving some kind of percentages to his beloved charities, because remember, he's not giving to charities from his own from the money that he already received or from the money that he is getting for the book, but from the proceeds for the book. But I did say from the beginning, if you want to go back to the readings that I did on the book, that it will be a success at the beginning, that it will be, it will hit the bestseller list for the first couple of weeks, but then it will very quickly sink to the baggage bins. And it's already in half price, and in some places it is sold for a bargain prices. And as you know, the Audible version is for free for those who have Amazon Prime. So many ways of getting that book for free. If you have the stamina to listen to him, I can't, and I really don't want to read this book. I am, as Fiona said today in her video, she canceled her well, reservation for the book because it wasn't supposed to arrive. It was supposed to arrive, and then it didn't arrive in time. And she said that she's going to be happy with the exits of the Daily Mail. So today I received this deck that is called the Delusions deck, and it seemed like a good opportunity to use the delusion spread. And we all know that Harry is not connected to reality. He is living in some kind of a delusion world that he has built to himself, and probably with the help of a lot of substances. And I'm going to first do this spread of delusions and see how it is affecting him. This is a peep deck. That means that the suits are not illustrated. In this deck, not even the court cards are illustrated. And it does give us some opening for the intuition, but also leaves a lot for the psychological interpretation of the cards. So let's start with clearing the deck. Okay, so what kind of delusion state is Harry in? What kind of delusional state is he in? What lack of accountability does it affect him? What are the challenges of him being truthful with himself? What is his echo chamber look like? What is the actual delusional state that Harry is in? What can we see about Harry's delusional state? Okay, so we are cutting the deck, and the first card is the current state of his delusion and entitlement. And what we're getting here is the Ace of Pentacles. Now, because we are getting the Ace of Pentacles, it shows us the entitlement in which he lives. Because he is living in a world where he really believes that he deserves everything, that he's not getting what he deserves, that the Ace of Pentacles is about being in a place where you can achieve your needs in the material world. Now, Harry is speaking about needs quite a lot in his book, even by saying, for example, when Charles talked to him about whether or not Meghan is going to work or to continue being an actress, and Harry very naively says that he thinks that Meghan will want to work with him. Charles is being very cautious and says, you know, this family is not made of money, and maybe she should think about continuing her own career. And Harry, of course, takes that into the worst light there is, and he thinks to himself in his book, I cannot understand why he's saying that, considering Meghan eats very little and can make her own clothes. Now, considering the fact that only in the first year of their marriage, Meghan spent £1 million on clothing alone, I'm not talking about food. This is not a person who is making her own clothes. She went to all of the high-end designers, and we know that she also received a lot of freebies from designers. But this is a person that is living in this entitlement state of I deserve everything. Everything that I want, I deserve. Everything that I need, I deserve. I don't need to do something in order to get what I deserve. This is a card of someone who is very materialistic, someone who is chasing money, someone who's afraid that he will be unstable financially, someone who is all the time thinking about financial considerations, even on expense of other things, other fields, someone who is insecure, someone who that makes all the wrong judgments, and someone who is listening to wrong advice and making bad judgments in every aspect that we can think of. So that is the state of his entitlement right now. This is right now. Okay, so how does his lack of accountability affect his life? And we're getting here the Queen of Wands. Okay, so the Queen of Wands, that is the card that represents Meghan usually, and this is the Queen who is very much responsible to herself, the things that are connected to herself. And if we're looking at Harry as the Queen of Wands, this is someone who thinks about himself, about the things that are connected to himself, things that are connected to his own small family. He's not looking at the big picture. The big picture doesn't interest him. He's looking at how can he better the situation for him, for his children, his wife. And this is about ego. This is about even performance in front of an audience and being very extravagant. This is a person that is immature. This is a person who is jealous, and we see the jealousy through him all the time. This is a person that will betray others because he has the tendency not to take the blame on himself. This is a person that feels like a failure, but he will never show that to the world. He will always shift the blame on others. So this is how this lack of accountability makes him behave, and it makes him behave in a way a little bit like his wife. So he becomes more like his wife acts as days are going further and further. He becomes more and more like the Queen of Wands. Okay, next card is the greatest challenge for him in being 100% truthful. So what if he does want to be truthful about about things to himself and to the world? What is the challenge here? What does he need to do in order to be truthful, to be 100% truthful? And the card that I'm getting is the 10 of Cups. Okay, so the 10 of Cups, that is a great card. It's a card of wishes coming true. But we're looking at it from the challenge side. And because it is coming from the challenge side, we need to look at the negative aspects of this card. Because this is a card that shows us what are the difficulties that are in his way to become truthful. And this is a card of a person that has difficulty to accept that things in life are not perfect. He has difficulty to accept that. He wants everything to be perfect. He wants his life to be perfect. He wants to have the perfect wife. He wants to have the perfect life. He has difficulty. He's acting like a petulant child. He has difficulty to understand that. He has difficulty, he has tendency to sacrifice things. And this is about sacrificing for himself and for his own family. So he would sacrifice his greater family for his smaller family. If he thinks that it would make it better for his wife, for his children, to sacrifice the bigger family. This is a person who gets angry because he is, and he's not, he's get angry very easily, but he's not expressing it. And we could see that in the interviews. We could see the anger that was building within him, but he couldn't express it. He couldn't release that anger. So, and I think that with Meghan, he's unable to release that anger. He's unable to show that anger. So that anger is building inside of him, this turbulence that is building inside of him. And this 10 of Cups is not showing us a happy 10 of Cups. This 10 of Cups is a very turbulent 10 of Cups. So this is a person that keeps quite a lot inside himself, inside in his stomach, and it will lash out. He will lash out. So it's just a question of when will he break and completely dissolve. But right now he's holding on towards the last thing, towards all of the things that he is promised that he will get, or he believes that his wishes will come true if he is able to hold his anger within himself, if he's able to hold on towards the last interview or the last appearance. But as the Sussexes say, they want afterwards to keep quiet, and I believe that keeping quiet will be mainly for Harry to be able to wind out all of that anger that is there, and he's accumulating inside of him. So let's see what his echo chamber looks like. And the echo chamber, that is the place where he is within himself, where he is able to look at himself and be maybe a little bit more honest with himself. So where he is echoing to himself what he's saying, and maybe he's able to be honest with himself. So this place, how does this place looks for him? And what we're getting here is the Star card. And the Star card is, first of all, a card of honesty, and it's a card of loving feelings. So this is a place where he is able to be honest. But the Star card is also a place of keeping secrets. So this is a place of keeping the Pandora box. This is a place where he is very much unable to to be able to tell the truth, because he knows that he has to keep everything inside himself. This is a card that shows us that secrets are being kept, that trouble can come up, that this is a card that shows us that he is ignoring those secrets, the trouble that is looming there. And once again, this is a card of someone who is self-illusion, is arrogant. This is a person who's surrendering to another person, and is afraid of talking about the problem. So he is blocked. And this is the echo chamber. He is in this place blocked because he's unable to talk about those things with anyone, because he knows that if he talks about those things, they will come out. So he's unable to talk about those things. Those are the secrets that he keeps to himself, because he knows that he is unable to share those secrets with anyone. This is the Pandora box. These are the things that he's afraid that they will come out. Okay, next card is, how can Harry get closer to reality and to the actual truth? And what I'm getting here is the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is the card that speaks about getting what you give. So he needs to start giving in order to start getting something in return. And if he wants to start getting second chances, because sixes are always cards of second chances and being in the right place at the right time, he needs to start giving from himself. And this is about giving for charity, but this is about giving actual truth from himself. If he wants to be able to lead a truthful life, if he wants to be in that truthful place, then he needs to start saying the truth. He needs to be truthful to himself and to be truthful about things to others. And this card is not only about money, it's also about giving the truth to the media, giving the truth to other people. This card is a very, it has a lot of profound meanings. It's not only about giving money or getting money. This is about really being able to give from yourself the truth if you want to be able to move forward from that delusional place and to be able to start leading a truthful life. Okay, so what would Harry's reality look like if he wasn't deluded? And what I'm getting here is the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is the eternal student. This is the person who is always jumping from one bandwagon to another bandwagon. He is someone who is very much going to study new things. He's someone who is very much into education, learning new things. And if we're looking at the positive aspects of this card, and I'm not looking into the negative aspects because we are looking at what his reality would look like if he wasn't deluded, then we would see a person that maybe was able to learn, maybe would take the medication for attention deficit disorder that I have been saying for a long time that I think that he has, and being able to study and learn more things, to have the freedom to come and go as he likes, to be able to have good relationships, and to be able to really have more real freedom, not like the things that he sees today. Now, once again, the Page of Wands, because he is always jumping from one bandwagon to another bandwagon, it's very hard for him to commit to one thing and to go all the way and study things all the way, which I think is something that goes with Harry all the time, because he's never managing to finish anything that he has started. So in this case, I believe that we are seeing the Page of Wands, because the Page of Wands is something that goes with Harry a long way. But if he starts to being truthful and stops being delusional, then he might be able to get the positive aspects of the Page of Wands instead of the negative aspects of it. Okay, so how can we help him see the truth, if we can? And what we're getting here is the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is all about disappointment from reality, and the ability and being ready to do whatever it takes to reach the truth. This is where we want him to this is the situation we want him to reach. We want him to realize that his reality as it is right now is disappointing, that he is not as happy as he professes to be. We want him to admit that he is disappointed from his reality, and that he is willing to do whatever it takes to reach the truth. Once he reaches this stage, then he can be helped. As long as he still professes to be happy, to be someone who is still having everything is okay, everything is great, everything is fine, then it's impossible to help him. So this card is showing us that he's unable to think. First of all, just see that there are no swords here. He's unable to think. He has no logic here. There is no logic here. The logical thinking does not exist. So he has a lot of fire here. He has a lot of needs here. There is a lot of emotions here, but there is no logical thinking here. And this card shows us that he needs to reach this stage of disappointment from his own status. And once he reaches that disappointment, then there is a possibility of getting him the help that he needs in order to reach the truth, and in order to stop being deluded and start seeing reality as it is. But in order to be in that place, he needs to reach that disappointment. So that is the only way for us to help him see the truth. That is the only way. Okay, so that is the tarot. And once again, the dark mirror is here to help us see his status as it is right now. So let's see. Clearing the deck. Okay, Harry's state of mind. Harry's state of mind. Okay, the card that I'm getting is Atonement. Okay, so you know what atonement means, and atonement is something that he needs, first of all, to reach that place where he understands that he needs to get that, to be in that place of atonement. Wait a minute, let me find this. So, atonement is about full and open acceptance of consequences and a little more. It is also about paying for the price of others, letting go of all ifs and buts, and taking it all in, whether it's his or if it is others to shoulder. If he has a piece of what puts him at fault, normally he should try to separate it and to weigh it evenly with what makes the others in fault and with what he made it right. A little for little, but it rarely does it move anything forward. Sometimes he needs a clean state. And it's done by going through it all, paying more than is due. So Harry will have to pay his atonement for not only for his for the things that he has done, but the things that his wife has done. He will have to make atonement for everything. He won't be able to pick only the things that he did wrong and say, I am making atonement only for these things. In order to really being able to get the atonement, he will have to have a clean slate, and in order for that to happen, he will have to take the blame for everything. And this is what he needs to do. He needs to accept those swords in his back and learn the lesson. And this is just like the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a card that speaks about being able to see the sunlight after you learn your lesson. So if you are making mistakes and you are getting all of those swords in your back, you are paying the price, you are reaching the deepest of hell, and you learn from your mistakes, then you will be able to see the sunlight that is coming way away in the horizon. So this is what this card is all about. Harry will have to atone for his mistakes, for what Meghan did. There is no other way. So this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.